Good morning. Thanks for joining us for the News 12 FastCast. I'm Nick Proto. 7:30 here on our Friday, May 23rd. Richmond County deputies say 2 people were shot at the MacArthur Park apartments last night. The coroner confirms one of them is dead. Authorities say they responded around 10:30, with the coroner saying 28-year-old Cameron Mason dying an hour later. As for the other victim, they've been taken to the hospital for treatment. No word right now on their condition, but we'll let you know as we learn more. Over in Aiken County, we spotted a power outage. Dominion's map showing it was on Vaucluse Road, not far from Old Zion Hill Church. The area right now is blocked off. Vaucluse Road and Morningside Drive were blocked off this morning when our crew was out there. They say power should come back on about 8 o'clock to about 100 people who are out there without power. Orangeburg County deputies are investigating a shooting that left 1 person injured. Deputies say 1 person was shot around 5 o'clock yesterday in the Bonita Lane area of Holly Hill. We haven't heard if there are any suspects yet. Still working to learn more about that victim. But if you have any information about the shooting, call the Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office. Deputies are looking for this man wanted for questioning in a deadly shooting on Lumpkin Road we told you about yesterday morning. They say Wednesday night, 26-year-old Jaquavius Watkins was shot at least once and died after being taken to the hospital. Officials are now looking for 18-year-old Tayshawn Goodwin. They say he's known to be in the Harrisburg and Lumpkin Road neighborhoods. If you have any information on Goodwin, call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Still working to learn more about why the FBI was spotted at Augusta's municipal building yesterday. Agents told us they were at the building conducting law enforcement activities, but didn't specify what that meant. We do know the city has held the attention of the federal government recently. That's due to more than $6 million in grant money that wasn't repaid in a timely manner, and it wasn't spent. That money was meant for funding COVID-era programs to help people avoid evictions. Wells Fargo Bank has filed 2 lawsuits against Augusta Mayor Garnett Johnson and his wife, claiming they owe hundreds of thousands of dollars in payments. According to court documents, the lawsuits name Garnett Johnson as a private citizen, meaning this is not connected to his role as mayor. Wells Fargo says in the lawsuit between the Johnsons' 3 businesses, they own more than $700,000. This is video of one of those 3 businesses on Telfair Street. One lawsuit claims the Johnsons owe $166,000. Another claims they owe $695,000. Wells Fargo claims this is through missed payments. The lawsuit says notices to default the Johnsons and their businesses were sent in August and December of last year. We reached out to the mayor for comment. Here's what he had to say. Quote, "This is a personal business matter and it has no bearing on my duties or responsibilities as mayor. Being a small business owner always presents numerous challenges. We are addressing them, and I will continue focusing on leading our city and serving the residents of Augusta Richmond County." We're still a few weeks away, but it's already starting to feel like summer outside. For those experiencing homelessness, the intense heat can be dangerous. That's why the Salvation Army of Augusta is stepping in to provide resources to make sure everybody can beat the heat. They're working with Escape Outdoors to host a donation drive, collecting water and fans for those who don't have a way to escape the intense heat.
Especially in a place like Augusta where it's not only hot, but it's humid. And so not everyone has the means to have their AC on all day long. And some people keep it on only during certain hours of the day. Some people don't even have enough to keep it on at all. And so
these items may be small, but they can be life-saving to those who need them. You can donate at different locations through the end of May. Those places: Escape Outdoors on Furious Ferry Road, Escape Outdoors on Highland Avenue, and any Salvation Army location. That includes their family stores, the Croc Center, and the Center of Hope. The Salvation Army also reminds everyone you can continue to donate items, money, or your time volunteering all year long. Even $5 can help feed 2 people in their kitchen. Staying with the Salvation Army, we checked in on the progress of the soon-to-be new Center of Hope on Hale Street. They tell us the project is still in its early stages as crews work to clear out asbestos. They say eventually the building will be torn down for a new one. The new facility will help house more people experiencing homelessness and be much bigger than the current center. Graduations are still underway in Columbia County. Today, it's Grovetown High this morning at 9, then Lakeside tonight at 6:30. Both will be over at Evans Town Center Park, so be prepared for big crowds and not much room. Parks and Rec Department closed the stage parking lot, the dog park, and the lot next to that to prepare for the ceremonies. Those will reopen tomorrow. If you live in Aiken County, a heads up here, there are several disaster recovery meetings planned for next Tuesday. The first one is from 2 to 4 at the American Legion Post 71. The other is from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Aiken County Government Center. There will be a presentation on the draft action plan. The Department of Housing and Urban Development has announced South Carolina will get more than $150 million for long-term recovery efforts. That's it for the news side of things this morning. Let's send it over now to First Alert meteorologist Tim Strong for a check at your weather.
We've had a great start, too, here. Just, again, mostly sunny, too. Maybe a few scattered clouds up there. Just a perfect look over the river into downtown Augusta from the SRP Park. A lot of our temperatures managed to stay in the low and mid-60s. We did have a few that fell back in the upper 50s and are still there at around Crawfordville and Sparty. It did the same thing yesterday. Tomorrow morning, we'll probably have more 50s to start the day off. But what a gorgeous Friday. Not too terribly hot and not as windy as yesterday, too. The wind values, they may come up in the afternoon around 10 to 15, but sustained out of the west 5 to 10. Lower to mid 80s will cover the board. A little bit cooler than average for both today and tomorrow. We look at that bump back in the upper 80s. And there's going to be a better chance maybe to start Sunday morning off with some wet weather coming through. But for the rest of today, the 60s quickly jumping into the low 70s over the next few hours, and 80s will take over in the afternoon. We can see a little bit of a wave of clouds working down from the northwest into midday to 5 o'clock, but mostly a dry and seasonal planter finishing out today. Saturday morning starts cooler. We have a lot of lower and mid 50s coming in. There's that little bit of a threat of a shower, 20% or less. We still managed to get into the 80s tomorrow, but there may even be some spots like areas Saluda, Washington, Lincoln, McCormick counties that may not see 80 degrees for tomorrow. So that cooler air still continuing to funnel right down in our area. But there it is. Sunday morning and at times on and off Sunday afternoon is looking a whole lot wetter than Saturday will be here. As far as temperatures go, 70s and 80s will finish off Sunday afternoon. We really level off the pattern in the mid 80s each day next week, but until about Wednesday, our rain chances are up, so you might still want to keep an umbrella all the way through much of that 7-day stretch. Have a great day, everyone.